Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just recently, Neo made the headlines once again because of his lack of self-control. Simple as that. So just recently, one of his baby mamas took to the internet in a live stream. The one baby mama by the name of Sade. And she just went off. I mean, really just popped off at the mouth. Was at the house alleging that she was angry and that she was going off on him because he was allowing women of the night, so to speak, who he was allegedly paying for certain activities that we know take place between people and women or men of the night while her children were at the house. Now, I can understand, despite how anybody feels about these people, she's a mother, and no mother wants their children around strange individuals who they don't know coming in and out of the house of the other parent. Him as a father, he shouldn't have that around his children, especially very small children. Those people he's got coming around those kids don't care about his kids. They have no obligation or responsibility to them. Anything, quite literally, could happen to those children. Y'all know I don't play when it comes to these kids. So some stupid decisions were going into this arrangement here. But of course, this was brought upon by them getting together in the first place. This is why I constantly say, be careful who you get involved with, who you marry, who you screw around with, who you choose to have kids with. Now, it is my understanding, allegedly, that this is the same woman who he cheated on his previous wife by the name of Crystal Renee with. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm struggling to feel sorry for anybody in this situation except his kids. I've said this before in a previous video. These industry men, by now, everybody should know that they do not want long-lasting, healthy, functional marriages. They want to hump, pump, and dump, and then move on to the next person. Some of these men don't even like women. And the fact that some people can't wrap their heads around that or have not understood that at this point is honestly quite baffling to me. The way they run through women, how they treat women, how they disrespect women, should tell you how they actually feel about women. Point, period, blank. Doesn't matter who they are. Neo is no different. Allegedly, like I said before, he cheated on Crystal Renee when they were married with this woman, and he threw his first fiancée, Moneta, under the bus for Crystal Renee. He has clearly established a pattern where he really does not care for these women, that he will throw one over to the side for the next one and not do anything right towards any of these women. Like I said before, pay attention to the patterns. He's also shown that he's reckless and irresponsible. Once again, back with the situation with Moneta, allegedly told that woman to get her tubes messed up right after she had their last child because he claimed he didn't want no more kids. But only to find out, it wasn't that he didn't want no more kids, he just didn't want no more with her. Moneta wanted to be with him, she wanted to be his wife, she wanted to have his kids, she wanted to be his. And he threw her under the bus because he's raggedy and he has a raggedy mindset. And again, his irresponsibility and his recklessness. If he really didn't want any more children, he would have got a vasectomy. Once again, these high-profile men, these men in the industry who have money, who could very easily get this situation fixed, go and get a vasectomy if they just want to sleep around, which they shouldn't be doing anyways, because please don't act like diseases don't run amok, because they do. But he could have went and got a vasectomy if he just didn't want to take care of the kids, if he didn't want to be a responsible dad. But once again, that's too much like right. He had to still go around, be irresponsible, do stuff without a condom, and get all these children that he clearly is not responsible enough to take care of. Once again, this woman Sade knew this. He displayed this behavior. And on the flip side, while she was talking about him bringing over women to the house, remember, she was one of the women, allegedly, that he was bringing over before he got a divorce. Before all of this happened with this live stream that she put out for everybody to see. She was one of those women once. She chose to be one of those women once, allegedly. So once again, we reap what we sow. If we make bad decisions with bad people or people who we shouldn't be making decisions with at all, we reap bad consequences, bad results, bad repercussions. Like I said, considering the fact that she chose to keep getting involved with this dude and even mess with him when he was married, you'll have to excuse me if I say I really don't feel anything for her feelings, her personal feelings about him doing her wrong. Because one, she knew what it was. She knew what kind of person that he was. They know who these industry men are, and they still choose to get involved with them. They still choose to have children with them. They even sleep around where a lot of these men are in relationships. They think that, oh, well, I can be with this person and it'll be cool, knowing that they're in the wrong for being involved with them to begin with. And then when all hell breaks loose in their life, then they want to act shooketh or be mad Don't be mad. And if you're going to, be mad at yourself for getting involved with him to begin with. And the same thing goes for these industry men. I don't feel sorry for them either, because they know exactly what a lot of these women want. They come packaged a certain kind of way. They talk a certain kind of way. They walk a certain kind of way. They look a certain kind of way. And most of them only want to have a baby with them so that they can get child support. Now, if they're goofy enough to fall for it, knowing this, then whose fault is that also? So I'm holding both of them accountable. Nobody wants to, but like I've said before, I don't take sides around here unless there's somebody clearly in the right, completely in the right. But both of them were goofy for getting involved with each other to begin with. And I feel sorry for the kids because they have the two of them for parents, like I said before. Once again, while I don't care anything for her feelings about the matter, I can understand why she would be pissed with him having these people, these women, around their children. He's supposed to be watching them, but instead he's screwing. That's parental neglect, if you ask me. Negligence, really. She does have a right to be mad at him for not doing his duties as a father properly and putting their children possibly in a predicament where they can be harmed or neglected or not paid attention to because he's so busy trying to get off on his lust instead of do his job as a father. And this goes into another thing I've been saying on this channel for quite some time, which is that this generation has this really twisted idea of thinking that it's cute to have a sex addiction, because that's what she was low-key alluding to, that he has this issue where he feels like he always has to be screwing somebody, having an orgy, allegedly. That he is constantly getting involved with people, jumping in and out of bed with women. Like I said, this generation thinks that it's cute to be like that. It's not. Do we need to put the definition of an addiction, a habit, on the screen? It's not something good to have. And quite frankly, usually it's the result of something that has gone wrong, some trauma, something messed up somewhere, or simply a lack of self-control. He's a celebrity. He has access to a lot of women. He's Neo. He's got a lot of fame and money. People don't like to bring their flesh, so to speak, under subjection despite their freedoms and what they have access to, which then leads to these kind of hedonistic lifestyles. Like I said, low-key, this is what she was trying to make it seem like. Basically saying you're always jumping in bed, etc., etc. You always got somebody over. And once again, I'm failing to see where people are surprised by this, where she's surprised, how she's surprised. This man basically told y'all back in the day when he made the song Because of You that he had a problem and didn't know what to do about it. And that even if he did, he wouldn't do anything about it. The whole music video was showing you him in a relationship with one woman and then cheating on her with another woman, and that he couldn't stop. So once again, I'm trying to understand why people are surprised here. Now, there are some other allegations that she threw around, and I'm going to call them allegations. She also alleged that he slammed her on the floor, that they had been getting into it, I guess, allegedly, alluding to him being the type of man who would put his hands on a woman. And I guess this whole fiasco was her trying to basically tempt him into doing it. Now, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I do not do double standards. If a woman puts her hands on a man, the same energy we'd have if he put his hands on her, we need to have for her. I don't support this whole thing where the women antagonize men into beating them up. Because it's going to be all fun and games, these women who are doing this, until she gets her block knocked off, so to speak. It's not going to be funny then. Although what it looked like to me is that she was trying to elicit a reaction from him. Now, I don't know if any of what she was saying is true. And even if it was, trying to provoke him into doing it again was not the way to go. But I guess she was just so upset by what he did. But like I said before, none of that excuses her actions during that live. And people did call her out about it. But she didn't care because, like I said, clearly she's upset. And I guess she's, had the last straw, so to speak. But once again, you knew what you were getting into when you got with this dude. Anyways, she also alleged that he was into certain substances, if you get my drift, a multitude of substances, if you will, and that she had asked him to stop. Multiple people had asked him to stop, that allegedly even his own children asked him to stop, but that he wouldn't do it. And once again, that is a dangerous thing to be involved in, first and foremost, because it's just dangerous and unhealthy. I don't care what anybody says. But also, again, you have small children around you a lot of times. So what happens if you get high and then your child comes to you to ask you for something and you are beside yourself because you're not in your right mind in that moment because you're intoxicated, you're inebriated, whatever, and then you do something crazy or you say something crazy, then what? Once again, it's the negligence for me. It's the him going out and creating all these babies with these women he had no intention on treating right, let alone settling down with and marrying. And he also, on top of that, doesn't want to do the right thing as a father and take care of them properly. If he has that much of an issue, he needs help. He needs Jesus. He needs therapy. But again, that's too much like right. These people don't want to admit when they have a problem. They don't want to admit they are the problem. They don't want to go get help. Two more things she tried to allege that I thought was very disturbing. And once again, I'm not here for people lying on people, lying about charges or lying about abuse, because it would set a very bad example for the women who are trying to tell the truth, who are telling the truth, and who do actually need help and justice. But she low-key tried to insinuate, besides him putting his hands on her, that he was involved in the same kind of activities that Diddy has been, calling him Diddy Jr., insinuating once again that he's involved with these same alleged illegal activities, messing people over, that P. Devil Combs has been involved in. She also even went so far to basically insinuate that he had mishandled her, so to speak, and that was how their child was born. If you actually pay attention to what she said, when she was going off on him, calling him this, that, and the other, and he basically said, and you still laid up with me. And then she said, why don't you tell him the truth about how that really happened? Tell him what really happened. Now, she could very well be lying, like I said before, but the fact that she would even insinuate something like that, like I said, that's very disturbing to me. Once again, I hope that that's not the truth. I would hope she's not lying. At the same time, I hope that's not the truth. Also, at the same time, I don't put anything past anybody, quite frankly, who's in the industry, who's been in the industry. At this point, we just have to wait, sit back and wait, because the way that 2024 has been exposing people left and right, the way God has been exposing people left and right, I don't think there's a whole lot that would surprise me. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. As a matter of fact, somebody tried to allege not too long ago that the dad from Family Matters, Carl Winslow, the guy who plays him, was also involved in the Diddy parties, allegedly getting back shots from Diddy. I said allegedly. People were shooketh. They didn't want to believe it. I could understand why, but like I said, at this point, all I did was gasp a little bit and still wasn't that surprised. I told y'all before, I don't put these people on a pedestal. They're industry individuals, which means they are capable quite literally of anything, especially anything negative. Anything quite literally could happen. Truth is much stranger than fiction, and truth is much truer than fiction. Let's just be honest about that. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.